Hey everyone, today we're diving into a really intense story about Adrian Lacey, a guy who got caught up in the COVID-19 loan fraud scheme.
It's a wild ride that shows us just how important it is to understand the consequences of crime and, honestly, the impact it can have on a person's life. So stick around as we break this down. All right, so let's set the stage.
During the pandemic, a lot of people were struggling. Who wasn't, right? The government rolled out these relief loans to help businesses stay afloat, but not everyone played by the rules. Adrian Lacey was one of those people. He had a prior history with the law and, honestly, you could say he was a bit of a repeat offender. He'd been incarcerated before, and it's like he just didn't learn from those experiences. Now, this whole fraud scheme, it was pretty elaborate.
Lacey and his crew were using stolen identities to submit fake loan applications. Can you imagine? The desperation of the times made it all too easy for some folks to take advantage. And, it wasn't just a small operation, this thing was massive. You hear about these stories and you think, how could someone do that? But when you're in the thick of it, sometimes the lines get blurred. Fast forward to the sentencing.
Lacey ended up getting slapped with a sentence of 186 months in prison. That's a long time, over 15 years, just for trying to scam the system. On top of that, there were hefty fines and the forfeiture of funds.
It's just a brutal wake-up call that, even if you think you're pulling one over on the world, the consequences are real and they hit hard. So, let's take a moment to reflect on this whole situation. It's easy to judge someone like Lacey from the outside, but when you really think about it, what drove him to make those choices? It's a reminder that every action has its consequences, even if you think you can outrun them.
And while Lacey might have been trying to find a way out of his struggles, he ended up reflecting on what got you there. It's gotta be a heavy realization. I can't help but feel a bit of empathy there, even if what he did was wrong. It's a lesson for all of us. The choices we make can shape our futures in ways we can't even imagine.
So, what can we learn from this? Well, first off, making ethical choices is crucial. It might seem tempting to take shortcuts, especially when times are tough, but those decisions can come back to haunt you.
And, even if you're behind bars, the mental weight of your actions doesn't just disappear. It lingers, but, hey, there's always a silver lining, right? Maybe this whole situation can serve as a wake-up call for others.
If you're out there struggling, take a moment to think about your choices and the potential fallout. It's not worth it to risk everything for a quick gain. And I think it's important to find some gratitude in tough situations.
Lacey's story reminds us to appreciate what we have and to think critically about our decisions. Life's tough, but we can learn and grow from these experiences. So, before we wrap up, I just want to encourage you all to reflect on your own lives.
Think about the choices you're making and how they could affect your future. It's never too late to pivot and choose a better path. If you found this story insightful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep the conversation going.
Share your thoughts on how we can all make better choices and avoid the pitfalls that can lead to a life of regret. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, every day is a new chance to choose wisely.